Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly in this video how to be an animal physically, inside and out. I'm a real believer that you need to be in really good shape and look like you're in really good shape because we just live in a world that I just think it's better. There's really not much of an advantage to not look like you're in incredible shape and to be in incredible shape, because when you're in incredible shape too, you're going to feel better and you're going to make better decisions. And I just think it's really important. Plus, you'll probably live longer, odds are. So in this video today, I will explain to you how I've been able to do it and what is everything I do in terms of what do I eat, what do I do, and in the aspects of being physically fit and appearing physically fit. So I'd like to break it down. There's two aspects really. There's muscular and there's cardiovascular. So, you know, there's a bunch of people out there who are just really, really big and strong, and, you know, they probably die like running around like on a basketball court and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's just kind of, you know, it looks nice, but, you know, the internal is just it's kind of weak, you know, like if you were to like go run like 5 miles, 10 miles, 5 miles a day, you're not going to be able to do that. It's going to be really heavy, and it's mostly just for appearance of just like the ego of like being big and strong. You know, maybe you're a power lifter or something. Maybe there's a reason, but being able to run and having a strong heart muscle, which is obviously one of the most important muscles in your body, probably other than the brain, will make you feel incredibly better, and life will just be better overall. Everything will be like less stressful. And you know, it's interesting, you know, I have some older brothers who are not in the greatest shape, and they blame like, oh, their kid, this or that. But really, I mean, they could literally go outside and just run 3 miles a day every day for the next 60 days. And what will happen is that they'll probably not be able to do it for the first day. Probably be able to like run a mile or half a mile, and their legs will hurt because your body's just not used to running. No matter what position you are in, whether you're 30 pounds overweight, 40 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight, whether you've never ran in your life, you know, if you literally just go outside and you literally just run like a mile, and even if you can't even finish the mile, let's say you run a quarter of a mile or even jog a quarter of a mile, and then you end up walking. If you just stay out there the whole time and, you know, you walk, you run, you walk, you run, the next day, you're going to be able to go out there and you're going to be able to just do a little bit more. And so, you know, typically, let's say I haven't ran in like 6 months. Literally, I'll go out, I'll try to run a mile. It's going to be pretty tiring. I'll probably just run a mile, stop. And then I'll probably like walk a little bit, and then I'll probably run like a little half mile. And I'm not really running that fast. And then I'll stop, and then I'm done for the day. Then I'll go back the next day, and, you know, I run a mile and take a break, maybe run a mile, take a break, and then I'm done. 2 miles. Next day, I'll go run a mile, take a break, run a mile, take a break, run a mile, take a break, 3 miles, but there's breaks in there. Next day, maybe I won't run the next day. Next day after that, run a mile and a half straight, run a mile, take a break, run a mile, take a break. And then, you know, next day I'll run maybe 3 miles without stopping. The next day, 3 miles without stopping, 5 miles without stopping the next day. So it's just really slow, gradual buildup. And really, I like to incorporate this with an exercise program muscularly in the gym of only like 30 minutes a day. Because, you know, let's face it, you know, you're not really like in the greatest shape. Let's say you're starting from not being in the greatest shape. You know, you're building up this cardio system, and then you're also incorporating the gym workout of 30 minutes a day, which is full body. You know, typically what I like to do with this is I'll go in the gym and I'll go on each machine, you know, like every single machine I can find for the whole body. I'll just do like 1 set or 2 sets of 10 on a weight I can manage 10 times. And I'll just go like to every single machine. So there's probably like 30 machines, 20, like let's say call it like maybe 20 machines. So you're doing 20 machines, all of every part of the body, 10 reps. And then you go 20 reps, 20 machines, that's 10 reps on each one. That's 200 reps times 2, that's 400 reps for the whole body. And it only takes like 30 minutes. And then, you know, the next day you can go in, you can do it again. And the next day you can do it, and you can maybe do 3 sets of you know, 10 on all the machines. So you're doing 600 reps. And really it's just a slow, gradual buildup, which, you know, in 60 days can really transform anybody. And in particular, so that's just two ways to get started when you're starting from nothing, really, in terms of cardio strength and muscular strength. And the shape, the things that this will do to the body in 60 days is crazy. I don't really take any supplements at all, so I'm not trying to sell any supplements or anything of the sort, at least not yet. But I know for certain in 60 days of doing a very slow regimen buildup like this, like running starting with like jogging a half mile, taking a break, jogging a half mile, take a break, go to the gym, the 30 minutes, just do every single machine for every single body part, 10 reps, 2 sets of 10 reps on each one. You just see like unbelievable transformation in everything. And as well as in terms of what I eat while I'm doing all this, let's say I've been like 5 pounds overweight or, 5 pounds overweight. That's probably the most I've ever been in my entire life, 5 pounds overweight. I'll green juice. I'll buy kale, fresh kale, apples, oranges, and cucumbers. And what I'll do is I'll juice up 3 apples, 1 bundle of kale, a big orange, and 1 big cucumber. And that'll make about 40 ounces of green juice, give or take. And I'll split that up into 2 cups and I'll drink both those throughout the day. And I'll reduce my overall food intake by half. Whatever I was eating before, I'll eat half as much I was eating before. And I'll just fuse in that green juice to literally take the place of my food. So I'm basically cleansing my whole body with green juice. I'm running, I'm going in the gym. And you would be amazed the transformation, even within like a few, a month or, 2 months of what your face and your whole body will look like. Everything will look better. Your skin, everything. You'll be like a polar magnet to the world, or just a magnet, like people will just be more attracted to you because you're just vibrating on like a different frequency. So, in addition to this, this is just on a total side note, I do play a lot of tennis. So, after I get into good shape like that, I'll probably not run as much. And cause I'm just running so much on the tennis court and I'm just running all over the place and I'm doing it in the heat and I'm doing it for hours. And I sometimes do it for like twice a day. So I mix that with like maybe, some gym work here and there for like 30 minutes and wow, it's amazing. But if I wasn't doing tennis, then I would do the running more often, just because I would just do it just because it gets addicting. But here's one thing that I found when doing all these things, whether you're playing sports and, in the gym or running, there's one thing that I've definitely found over the years, which I wish I knew when I was younger, was having a good stretching routine at home too, because, you can go to yoga. Yoga's cool, but it just takes a lot of time to go all the way to the studio and then get on the mat and get sweaty and you're stuck there. And it's just like a trip there, trip back, takes like a couple hours. Also you're paying money, which, maybe you might not have. But if you have a really cool stretching routine at home that is going to work, because there's so much pounding on your body over the years, it's awesome. Like to have the ability to just stretch at your home, because the more you exercise, the more you work out, exercise, run, play sports, you're going to need to stretch. If you don't stretch, you're going to literally wear out your body. Like you're not going to be like, your body's just going to tighten up in areas and you're just going to get injured and you're not going to be able to do the things that you do. I can't even tell you how many times I've hurt my back. I mean, I remember like in my 20s, I just played 5 hours a day of tennis and I literally hurt my back so many times because I just didn't stretch. I just lay in bed for like weeks. I couldn't play and I'd go out, do the same thing because I didn't know that I needed to stretch. And then finally, as I got older, I'm like getting more desperate. I'm like, look, I need to play tennis. I can't just deal with these injuries. And I realized, after I listened to David Goggins' book, I realized, okay, he was running into the same issues as me. Of course, he's doing it almost at another level because how much he's running. But I was playing a lot of tennis and he literally was not able to keep going with his workout routines, with his running or, whatever he was doing. He was doing like 100-mile runs and crazy stuff like that. He literally found that, Joel Hippenstein's stretching program, which I got the other day. I paid $600 for his full program and watched the stretches that he did. And it's pretty cool. So I've been doing Joel Hippenstein's stretching routine here and there. I haven't done it like, for the full 2 hours or hour every day or whatever he says to do it. But I mean, I've definitely noticed a significant improvement. And what he said is true. Like you can't, the stretching routines that he's been giving me have been working. I've been able to play tennis and I have not been getting injured, and I have no fear of getting injured, whether it's tennis or whatever you're doing with that, whatever you're doing. because that's like such a big issue for people. Oh, I get hurt. It's like the whole number one, I feel like, thing that's like holding people back. Oh, I'm getting hurt. Or a lot of the time I hear it's like, oh, I have kids. I don't have this. Dude, you can literally go outside your house and you can run for 30 minutes every single day. You know, you just take a run tracker. You measure 1.5 miles on a run away from your home. And when you know it's 1.5 miles away from your home, you know, if you run back, it's another 1.5 miles. So you literally run the 1.5 miles there, you run 1.5 miles back, and that's 3 miles. And if you build up to that, there's no reason why, anybody with kids or anything can't go run 3 miles every single day and get in really good shape. You know, there's no excuse for being like 40 pounds overweight. So I'll show a picture right now of exactly what I looked like last week. And that's from literally just going in the gym like 30 minutes, here and there. And I do drink green juice. I don't drink alcohol anymore lately. And I pretty much, I eat fairly whatever I want. I don't really eat a lot of desserts. So I'm just explaining, everything I kind of do. I do play a lot of tennis. I do also listen to my body after I've done a crazy amount of exercising and running or tennis and, some weightlifting for a week. I might just take a week off, or maybe I play a couple weeks straight of tennis. I might just take a week off, I just like, all right, my body needs a rest, and maybe I'll stretch a little bit or work on my business. But this is a picture of exactly what I looked like in the gym last week. And there's no supplements. I'm taking it all except for some melatonin at night to sleep. I pretty much am free of caffeine and alcohol in this picture. So yeah, I'm sure you could probably, anybody can look like this. And in terms of sleep, let's see, I honestly, it changes, sometimes I'll sleep 6 hours. Sometimes I'll sleep 10 hours. Sometimes I'll sleep 8 hours. Sometimes I'll lay in bed a lot and just, think. So I think sleep is one of those things you just kind of listen to your body, but I think there is a point where, you can oversleep. So every here and there, I think, hey, if you feel like you're just getting a little lazy, I mean, coffee couldn't hurt here and there. I am a big believer of not being like dependent on it because, you don't want to be dependent on a drug in order to be motivated. But there are some days where you can be a little sluggish. Like some days, maybe, you got something in your system and you're feeling a little low and you just, like you just need a little kickstart of the caffeine, I don't think caffeine's as bad as like a lot of other things out there. So, and so I just think looks, it's really important to have a really great appearance on the inside and outside because I think looks are very important. It's almost like, we're going around this world and there's products on a shelf, and the products on the shelf, the better they look, the more odds that we're gonna pick it up and buy it. So, not trying to be like overly vain here, but I think that you also want to be good on the interior as well. But I think you should strive for excellence on the interior and exterior, and you'll probably attract somebody who's good on the exterior and the interior as well, because we do attract what we are into our life. So the better you look, the better you feel, the better a lot of things are going to be attracted to you. So yeah. So that's my exercising routine. I try to do, like I said, minimum of, if you play sports, it makes it a lot easier. But if you don't play sports, then you probably only need to run like 30 minutes a day and go to the gym 30 minutes a day and stretch for 30 minutes a day with what I use, the Joel Hippenstein stretching program right now, and drink green juice, freshly juiced green juice with kale, apples, oranges, and cucumbers every day. And I don't eat a whole lot of desserts. I don't really drink alcohol, and I use caffeine here and there. And I just see tremendous results. Tremendous. So I highly recommend what I'm doing to everybody out there. I think that it is transformative. Oh, by the way, I don't really keep a lot of snacks in my house either. I don't like buy a lot of chips or like corn, because I think I saw like something a long time ago, like corn's like filler for a lot of stuff. Like, it's just like not good to eat like a lot of corn. So I really just try to eat like carbs and some protein and some green juice, So I think it's like important to where when you eat something, if it makes you feel bad or good within like 20 minutes after eating it. I think you need to really notate if it was like made you feel good or bad. So that's kind of how I decide what I eat. But anyway, if you like the value of the information I provided today, please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, and I'll see you in the next one.